मेरी क्लास की है।
अच्छा बुरी लग रही है।
एक फिगर।
आई जज। तेरी जज मुझे आयुष अच्छा
ये छपरी है। नहीं वो एक फिगर नहीं है छपरी।
Anyone who uses Snapchat filters is छपरी।
मैं यूज करती हूँ।
तू भी है फिर। Get over it.
मेरा फोन क्वालिटी बेकार है, ठीक है? देखो बोल तो स्नैपचैट फिल्टर यूज ना करना है।
मैं तेरे को चीज खींच के दूंगी सब तेरी छपरी करना।
अच्छा मेरा हाथ में भी जला दिया।
क्या? वो इंस्टाग्राम पे।
फिल्टर है ना, फिल्टर है ना।
Snapchat is छपरी।
फिल्टर है ना।
Filters are not filters तो इंस्टाग्राम से नहीं है। इसकी स्केचिंग की कैटेगरी उसको क्या? इससे अच्छी स्केचेस मेरी लिटिल फिंगर बना लेती है। I don't like her.
I don't like it. उस तरह का नहीं तो
छोड़ेगी कभी नहीं।
तो बाद में स्टॉप कर दूँगा इतना रेट
ना हो। इसके पास आईफोन है?
उसके बाद पर
हाँ कर सकती है।
मेरे को इतना चलाने दे ना। ले खत्म। हाय बेटा चल।
सारंग का जगह खोल दो। कितनी गंदी है।
मेरा पता नहीं है। ये
उनको लगा मेरा एमए उसी टाइम में बट वो कैंसिल हो गया पोस्टपोन हो गया। तो उसमें मैं वो ग्रीन वाली साड़ी पहनी हूँ ना दैट्स व्हाई वाज लाइक लगा मेरे। उनको आती नहीं है बट लाइक जस्ट बिकॉज़ ही इज नाइस मैं उनको लगाने दी। I would never like a man do that. I'm still thinking about how we looked at
शर्म नाम की चीज है।
तूने उनको डिल्यूशनल किया ठीक है तू तो बोली बस
तेरा डिलीट करना छोड़ दूंगी क्या समझ नहीं लेगी इंटरेस्ट बोल रहा है तो सारे कैसे क्यों देखेगा।
I don't know he probably thinks I'm weird.
मेरे को जो एनजीओ के अंदर कि नाइट को समझ के भेजे गए
भाई ये वाला कुछ शॉपिंग है
नहीं ये वाला नहीं
ये तो नहीं है ये मेरे को अच्छा लगता है मेरे को मेरा एक ही पोस्ट पसंद है मेरे रीसेट
मैंने नहीं किया वीडियो में ये सब
ये भी बहुत अच्छा लगता है
बड़े सभी लग रहे हैं
वेस्टर्न पहना था फिर उसमें ट्रेडिशनल पहना हम लोग तो मुझे बस का नहीं
अरे बस बात तो है
The break is over already. I need to use the washroom. I'll be back.
Okay. That French socialism we have completed. Then we French.
You have to start with the abolition of the slavery.
That part only, na? End part, na?
No, and there is
Women have a revolution before only. That abolition of slavery afterwards, na?
Yes, see that from the Washington.
Go and come fast. Yes, anybody have any problem related to this lesson or both the lessons? Dishrika?
I need an extra lecture for that. I didn't attend it.
Which one?
Like socialism.
Socialist. You requested for extra.
No, I'm going from the chapter ends because the exams are going on.
Going on. When it will end?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Tuesday. So next Sunday. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, you people, any problem? Explanation is okay or not? Now,
The Jacobins were a club,
Hmm.
and like the head or the boss of the leader was Maximilian Robespierre.
That is the government formed by the Jacobins, by this Robespierre. But the Jacobin clubs, I said Jacobin name it got from the convent of Saint Jacob.
What are political clubs at that time? Is that like a similar concept to how nowadays we have political parties?
See, actually club means a small group, revolutionary group. Because they could not form into a big political party at that time. Because many of them are grouped in that church halls or like that. Because forming a party was a very difficult thing at that time.
So we can't call Jacobins a party.
No, it is not a party. It's a club means small groups of different
No, it
sections.
was big enough to like, rule the government. It was big enough to be to rule the government.
That way, you know,
Like others under them. Like once they formed the government, other people came under them. They were just a small group of not very wealthy people.
so many such groups were there.
Yeah. So the others just came under them.
So many groups from different areas, and then this party, this group contested in the election, and the leader Robespierre became the head. Yes, what doubt you were asking?
But isn't it kind of similar? Like even nowadays we have like so many different political parties from different parts. They also contest.
Political parties are organized group mainly for contesting election and to form government. But these groups were not formed for contesting election and forming the government. They were formed to discuss about their problems and find solutions.
Only some of them contested.
Contested later on because it was a time so many areas the revolutions were there. So king was captured and he was punished and all. So somebody have to replace it. That is why they contested and they formed the government.
Why was Robespierre revolution?
Robespierre?
Revolution. No, wait.
What?
Guillotined.
Yeah, guillotine.
Because everyone turned against him, he was also put for trial, and people find him guilty. And one who is found guilty, that was the punishment given. Because we have seen Robespierre, works were even made his own group unhappy, dissatisfied.
Sounds good. Kids, so many people they, by getting that the courts had to serve in the same punishment, like poetic justice.
That is what he went to be religious. That is God gave punishment to him also. Okay, one way described also. But our this thing, this one is that he was also put for trial, and the trial came against him. He was proved guilty, and he had to get punished.
On what page?
Did the women have a revolution?
Yeah, it's page 50.
See,
Now you have to start with the civics syllabus. My exams are approaching.
so that is what here, if you are reading and coming, there is no problem that one women revolution, it is not a big topic. Understood? Women also formed a plus. Their main aim was that to get the rights for them. Understood? Their condition was very much miserable, low status was there. So in order to improve the status, women also started so many movements. And one important leader of women was what is that? Olympia.
Olympia, yes. She wrote the Declaration of Right of Women and said,
And it is Olympic
Olympe.
Olympic Day. Gorgeous.
That is what. So that person was considered as the leader. Okay. So they demanded for the right to vote. Then they formed a society of revolutionary and republican women, and so many such attempts were made to get the rights for them, but all the rights were not got. But slowly, little improvements were made.
She actually
we are
wrote
doing
that.
Russian Revolution.
No,
It's not
15 actually. Oh god.
Russian Revolution completed. No?
Yeah,
Page number 50.
I thought page number 50.
No, one.
Okay, so then some small rights were given.
She don't did Olympic right
Declaration of Right.
Declaration of Rights
woman and
of
citizen.
so man and citizen was the right which was given to
By
men,
constitution.
but now she wrote
Rights of women.
women. But finally, when did the women got right to vote in France? When did?
1946.
You have to remember. Okay. When India got freedom, that time itself, the first election itself, women got the right to vote. But in many countries of Europe, if you are taking, women got that voting right very late. That is in the 20th century only. Okay, so this year you have to remember. Women had revolution, you understood, no?
Women got the right to vote in India itself, like after the independence, right? Immediately after the
Immediately means the first.
after the constitution was formed, we got the right to vote.
So
Like we always
I'll
had
tell you first.
Like we always had a universal adult families by the constitution.
See, we got independence. The first election was held in 1951. So the first election itself, everyone, universal adult franchise was introduced. In that, the age for voting was 21. And in 1989 only, 18 years was considered as the voting age. So till that time, everyone, irrespective of caste, creed, color, sex, everyone who is of age 21 was having the right. Got it? Now, we are going to see the next and the last topic, I think so, no? Abolition of slavery. Have you heard about slavery?
Yes, ma'am.
What is slavery?
Slavery is enslaving people of like who
So
are
there were
different in
castes.
race or like are subordinates to people who consider themselves superior and exchanging them for money or favors.
Okay. See, one or other way, this slavery was a practice all over the world.
In that time, there used to be a triangular slave trade. Basically, the European countries they would come to Africa and then they would buy slaves from
I'm going to
chieftains over
tell.
there.
I'm
And
going
from
to.
there, they would take them to the Americas and sell them there. And so like
Okay. See,
slave trade.
what I wanted to tell is that every society, one or other way, this system was practicing, but it was not called slavery. For example, in India, you know that rich landlords are there. Okay,
So, I mean,
rich landlords or rich persons. उसके घर में लोग काम करने के लिए रहते हैं ना. They are there to work in the homes, and that become hereditary. After the father, that son, like that, the full family is attached to that. And they were not paid properly also.
The people who were enslaved by landlords in India, they were not paid at all. They would be paid in food or they would be paid in shelter.
So that is also a kind of slavery. This is what I wanted to tell you. Because they were enslaved to do the work.
Generation by generation, they were not.
So, but this slavery which we are going to tell is different from that. We know that Europe, many rich businessmen were there, industrialists were. The industry first started in England and later it is spread to other countries. So they were having industrial products. So they took that products from that land to through the Atlantic Ocean and they came up to that coast of Africa. Okay. Now, African people, their peculiarity was that they had a huge land and they were having cattle. These were the two resources they were having, other things they were not knowing about. Now, they don't want anything. These are industrial goods or anything. They could not purchase by paying money because they were doing agricultural work only. They produce whatever they need. They don't want to sell anything in the market for money and they cannot buy also. Now, these rich people, traders, what they will take back from here? So now the return journey was not directly to Europe. Their return journey was to America. Understood? So what they carry? They forcefully carry people. That is they made
They
some
did not find anything, so they carried people.
people. They appointed some agents. They told that is we will give you something. You just take ever hefty people. That is African people. So these people were caught forcefully and put in the ship, tied to that. Otherwise, they will escape. So from here, they have taken the people. Now in America, what is there? They have tea plantation, cotton plantations, and all. In order to work in the plantations, they need people. And the captured people were taken to the market. And the rich people, they purchased them. And that money, these traders got. Understood? Traders carry with them the products.
They don't work.
Actually, see the white people.
What if they run away from
See, we heard a term white collar job.
Yeah.
Why we are hearing that white collar job? The collar will not get dirty because they are not working.
Mom, can you put off the AC? It's really cold. Or either the fan. Can you just put off the fan?
Both, eh?
Yes.
So when they were your question was that they were not working. So in order to work in their plantations and mines they dug, in order to work these two places, they need people.
But then what if the people don't work?
Why would they not?
See,
They cannot remote. They are
Working force.
next year the same thing you will study in detail. So that is why I am not giving, I am not
They were being
breaking
forced.
that suspense.
no spoilers.
See, that lesson is there. Africa, how they made their control, how they made Africa under their control.
Surprisingly, I never
So,
read about it.
Okay,
But it's just
listen. Now let us complete and move to another part. This much is clear or not? They carried that industrial goods, and from here they carry that people to work in the plantations. For that they took to the market, and the rich plantation owners purchased them. Now from there, when on returning back to Europe, they get tea, cotton, and all for their industries. Clear? So this trade is called triangular trade. What it is called as? So from Europe, they carry their goods to Africa. From Africa, they took slaves to America. From America, they collect raw materials for the industries. So this way, triangular trade they developed, and three main ports were there. The colonies in Caribbean, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and San Domingo. The place names you have to remember. These were the centers they have taken this slave people. Okay. Another thing, what is that? But the reluctance of Europeans to go and work in the distant and unfamiliar lands meant a shortage of labor Europe, Africa, and America. So the slave trade began. Merchants sailed from the ports of Bordeaux, Nantes. You mark these two places. French ports. That day I have told you about a map. Did I tell? One green color, that is great fear on map. I have told wherever I was teaching, I have told textbook it is there. With
Last class you had told us something in the textbook map. Yeah.
map. That place, these all things are there. Bordeaux, Nantes, Paris, etc. are the main centers. Yes, what's your question?
Basically, when they have went to America, there's a lot of land over there which they wanted to use for like products and profit, but like they didn't want to work there themselves. So instead, they bought slaves from Africa to work for
How
them,
wonderful.
to
I
work
don't
on the
feel like
land,
lifting a finger. I
to
will
work
buy
on the
it.
land for them and bring them.
See, from Europe, people migrated to America. French Revolution beginning, I have told you. That is, the people migrated 13 colonies. Why they have helped them? So, this people, they cleared large lands and occupied them. Okay. Now, plantation is not a small area. So many hectares are there.
And they didn't want to work there themselves.
They how many people they can carry from Europe? for this kind of work?
Yeah, but even they could actually probably if they wanted to, they could have tried to work using their own workforce, but they didn't. They were reluctant to work on the distant foreign lands themselves.
See, you
So it is
just
given here.
listen to me. If it is a small field, 10% can be taken. But it is hectares and hectares and hectares and hectares. So in that land, large number is required to work. Reluctant to work in the sense that that much people cannot be taken from Europe to work. You just think practically. अभी हमारा खेत में अभी एक एकड़ भी नहीं होता है, छोटा सा फील्ड है उधर, तो जिनको काम करने को मिलना बहुत आसान है. But that many hectares to be cleared, that to be planted, taken care, looked after each and everything, they need a large number of workers. Practical way you just think. Okay. And if it is available free of cost, then why they have to bring the people from their own country? I mean, India में देखो some states, that is my state Kerala. Okay, Kerala, large number of, that is from every family, that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 members are there, means they are abroad. So उधर काम करने के लिए अभी बंगाली लोग आता है, बिहारी आता है, तो दूसरा स्टेट के लोग आसाम का लोग आके काम करते हैं. Because they are not having people to work. This is the situation. So they are going abroad and earning. Here for doing the work they are getting the people from other states. And then large number. So one day that news only it was shown that Bengal से train चढ़ने के लिए लोग इकट्ठा हो रहे. केरला का ट्रेन है पूरा बंगाल. Is this Kerala or Bengal? Calcutta or Trivandrum? That was the heading. Means all are boarding to.
There is a huge number of migration for job opportunities, basically.
It is not exactly because of job opportunity.
Some sort of
because they are not there. And because of that, nowadays, a lot of murder, that one looting, and all are there. Most of the families, parents are living, one or two, and huge houses, 3 floor, like that houses are the individual houses, no?
Yeah.
So nobody is there to look after. So these people are staying there and taking care, and Kerala is fond of that is jewelries, gold only they wear. Here and all other states, so even in foreign countries also they did not wear. So stockpiles of that gold jewelries.
Over here, in this side it says that French merchants sailed from Fort of Bordeaux in Nantes to the African coast, where they bought slaves from local chieftains. So does that mean that even in Africa, they were the chieftains were capturing the slaves?
So agents from that, they are the local chiefs. They were given something. If you are giving this many people, this many slaves, we will give you. They don't want money, no. They want something else only. So that they will give. You just wait 1 year. Next year is all in detail you can study.
If you
Indentured labor migration is
YouTube kando.
No. Now you don't. That suspense will get over. No, then that time you cannot.
The interest won't be like the same.
Indentured labor migration you cannot study then. Then rinterpost you cannot study. So these all terms are there. So that is, please, this much you understand. Huh? Don't go beyond that. Yes. This one is, so Bordeaux, Nantes, etc. are the French ports. From there, they go to Africa. From Africa, they go to American coast, especially what is that term? West Indies. West Indies, 3 ports names you have studied, which are the ports San Domingo, Guadeloupe, and Martinique. Underline that ports names. Okay. Now, here slavery. What is slavery? You write the definition. I will dictate.
Can we write it in the textbook itself?
Wherever you want, you can write. Slavery is a practice of keeping slaves to work in plantation
slaves to work in
plantations and mines. Okay. The slaves are
These slaves are
purchased by plantation owners from
these slaves are purchased by
plantation owners
from
European traders. And slaves were taken forcefully from their land branded and shackled.
branded and shackled. Branded and shackled.
Branded and shackled. And were packed tightly into ships. Tightly into the ships.
That's all.
And were taken to Caribbean. Okay. So what is that? Forcefully taken, then branded. What is that? Healthy people. Less healthy people like that, they have to separate. Then shackled, put chains, and then dumped into that ship.
Also,
And
they
they
were
were-
branded as in they were like actually marked with certain numbers or
Yes, sir.
identifications.
They weren't even treated as human, they was just treated as any normal industrial product. That's how the Europeans treated them. They didn't
See,
treat people like
actually, on the chest, that numbers are
Engraved.
yes. Then they were put in the ship. 3 months journey is there, and they were not given proper food and all.
they were just treated like any other product.
Cattle, exactly like in cattle only. They are dumped into the ship. Then, after reaching there, only few will have some help. That good ones will be purchased. So like that, This kind of practice of trading is called a slave trade. And keeping them is called a slavery. Did you understand the difference?
Yes.
When buying and selling of slaves are taking place, it is slave trade.
Slave trade is basically the word. What is happening?
But after reaching in America, what is happening? Slavery is there. Now, when the government came to power, that is throughout the 18th century, there was little criticism of slavery in France. The National Assembly held long debates about whether the rights of man should be extended to all French subjects, including those in the colonies. See, when they have prepared the rights of man and citizen, there was a question mark. This rights to be extended to that French citizens in other part or not. So much discussion was there. And there was a period in which that convention made a legislation to abolish this one, slavery to be abolished. That was against the traders. I mean, traders will not pass that one.
So
Traders
traders were also people in power back then.
See, National Assembly consists of all these people.
Oh, so like they can make decisions that are in their favor.
So the trade would be affected. That was a big question. So they did not allow that law to be passed.
It's incredibly disturbing how people just a few generations before us thought that like this was okay and like people can just be treated as if objects and can be traded off.
See, that time people were not having thinking power. They don't
That's a
know.
good way to think of it.
They don't know whether they are exploited or not. If you are understanding that
They did not have the education or like the sources to make.
They weren't enlightened.
they got
Enlightenment is a different term.
enlightenment is all that.
No, I'm referring to the Renaissance.
Ah.
In
Renaissance.
relation to that, I said that in relation to that.
See, is it reaching to every person?
No, that's what I'm saying. At that time, people didn't know.
See, if I am now, I am teaching to all of you. That is same way only I am teaching. When you are asking doubt, I am explaining everything. But some of you are getting some 90%. Some get 70%. There is some who get only 30%. There are variations in understanding. But the way I am delivering to all of you. I am not delivering only 30%. This is what happens when any such movements are there. It reaches to certain number of people only.
Not everyone knew.
Not
about it.
everyone can.
That's what I'm saying.
Either they did not understand or they did not resonate with it very well.
Got it? So anyhow, turned out to be a short-term measure. 10 years later, Napoleon reintroduced slavery.
Oh yeah, Napoleon just ruined every progress that they made, right? Dictatorship and everything.
So Napoleon वापस वो slavery introduced किया. The plantation owners understood their freedom as including the right to enslave African Negroes. So plantation owners को इतना समझ में आ गया.
It's a slower term.
Our right to enslave and not to interfere in our right. That is what plantation owners. So it was not very easy. See, when we are hearing about something, we have our own understanding about it. Whatever, whether it is politics, whether it is normal life, whether it is society, or whether it is price rise. See, if I am talking about a price rise, टमाटर का प्राइस 200 हो गया, उसमें क्या है? This is what the other person thinking. What is difference? घर में तो सब बना के देता है. So this understanding, that is how much it is related to each and every person. The people of France also have this kind of problem. It is not ours. Our right is to enslave them.
They didn't
It's
understand
crazy that
the
they thought that it was literally their right to enslave others.
Yes.
probably they had crazy god complexes.
No, actually, and that no people did. The Europeans didn't even consider people of other continents as people.
Yeah, true. They would just come and act like they were superior to everybody.
Yes. That superiority was there.
Why didn't this happen vice versa? Like, why didn't Africans go around and tell everyone, oh yeah, we are better
No,
than you?
Europeans were
No,
more
no.
technologically advanced.
See,
So they are better.
African people, what was the problem? They were living in that richness, that is all that mineral resources, oil resources, gold, everything they were having, but they don't know how to extract it.
Yes, and they weren't very advanced. While East
So,
Europe had a lot of.
Europeans came and learned how to extract it. So that is why they had a feeling that they are inferior to those superior people. So that attitude did not change till now because
Even Indians have that mindset, like the slave mindset. Indians just always believe people of lighter race are so much superior than people of their own kind. It's like if a foreigner comes to India, everybody is tending to that foreigner as if they're some sort of deity. Like, what do you
No.
want to have? Like,
one reason. See, when how much fast we try to speak English, also can our accent
we
go
don't have to
half
match
there?
them in
Ah.
any way. We are just trying
But
too hard.
can they try and speak our Marathi?
They can.
Can they try our Hindi? Can they try our languages? Then why?
Why are we trying to
Then
prove ourselves?
why we have to be inferior?
Exactly.
So unless and until they that is keep their that is head weight down, and our that inferiority complex have to keep up. That means inferiority to be removed, and we have to understand that we are normal citizens. We have all the capacity. Then only this problem can be solved. We have sent Chandrayaan, that is, we are the fourth country indigenously developed and indigenously sent. So, this much capability we are having,
We
then
should
why we have
recognize
to
our
fail?
own capabilities and just go after the achievements of others.
That is okay. So, let's come back. And the last part is about a revolution in everyday life.
Oh yeah, the part where censorship was like abolished by, and people could say whatever they wanted and publish.
Yes. See, now we are learning French Revolution, French history. Some of the people learn Russian history. This is a big question. Why are we not learning our own history? In your history book, any lesson is included about our history?
Not really.
So we are that is blindly become slave to others. That kind of knowledge is not developing, and that kind of confidence is not developing in us. So this has to be practiced. Whatever is there have to be practiced in the day-to-day life. Otherwise, we cannot understand about it. So we hear about the word Mahatma Gandhi, we heard about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, we heard about the Tilak. But nowadays, if you are seeing, they are giving that is or that the present generation is keeping them away from their lives. Never try to study about the contribution. It did not come easily. How much sacrifices they have made. Nowadays itself, you were talking about why we are having inferiority complex. So they were trying to remove that inferiority complex. They were trying to generate the feeling of confidence in the minds of the people. But we are keeping them in the dustbins. Understand? So that is why many of us are not able to understand what our country is.
We don't appreciate our own land.
Never. Why that hundreds and thousands of students are going abroad for the
It's
higher
called
studies?
brain drain. Like,
That is exactly. So, okay. So here in this part, we are reading all these things of that time. So how these people have to understand the concept of liberty, equality. So all these terms are not that is within that realization. So for that, they began to use this in their everyday life. So when you hear that word, liberty, so we heard about a shoe brand, Liberty, or you heard about a Liberty Cinema, that means the banner of that. So this is what a common person understand. So because of that, during that time, in their everyday life, dramas, poems, songs and all, they began to develop in the way to understand these concepts. That is what have done in the daily life. So you may think that how can we put it in the daily life? See, one very difficult term and different term when it is expressed in, for example, you heard about Mahabharata. Okay, Mahabharata is a very long epic. This epic, when it is shown through television serials, people began to understand different aspects of it. Otherwise, it remain as an epic that is something. राम कौन है? हाँ, कोई तो होगा एक राजा था. Some people will tell about Raja. Some people will think, okay, वो तो किसी का बेटा था. This is what the understanding. But when it comes in the form of that television serials or movies or like that, people began to keep them very closer. This is very essential to understand that terms. That is why they started it in their everyday lives. Clear? See, one important law that came into effect soon after the storming of Bastille in the summer of 1789 was the abolition of censorship. You know that is censorship? What is censorship? Restriction on printed material, especially newspaper and articles. That is censorship is removed.
Basically, when you want to not show the certain people a certain.
Which one?
When the government, the censorship is basically when the government doesn't want to show a certain piece of media or something.
no, it is when they think censorship is basically not allowing everything to be published. Indian media is highly censored. If you all see, we say
For
that.
example, in movies, whenever there's a racial slur in movie,
Yeah.
not racial slur. I mean, whenever there's a what do you call
Religion.
expletive in movie, it is
Yeah.
it is like bleep.
Yeah, because the censor board does not allow that to be published.
Even religion.
That is about that. Yes, what?
Religion.
See,
It's very restricted.
you know that Manipur,
Yeah.
for a long time, there was clashes between two communities. And last May means this May, that very big incidents happened. Two women were publicly stripped off and then beaten up in the public view only. And they were
This is the
sexually
recent
harassed
news.
and killed.
This is the recent news.
Very recent, it
Recently
came out.
came out. It happened long time ago.
Oh,
Understood.
That is why people are so
When
enraged,
it
right?
came out and now protests started, only more such news are coming.
this May.
This May 2nd was the day of incident. Afterwards, now one by one, such incidents are coming up. So why they wanted to hide this kinds of information?
It is to protect their own, like whatever they believe is right. They want to protect themselves and their ideologies.
There, see, human right is not there. We don't have the right to live.
They are
So this is what happening everywhere. So censorship is made to hide such kind of things. Restrict the news from coming out.
if see in in recent times when there was revolts against a local party in Maharashtra, Shiv Sena, there was a lot of censorship that was pushed towards the media. So nobody was allowed to say anything until very later on, when actually people were being heard due to the protests and due to the backlash.
I
That
think
is censorship.
I think there's a period of 5 years when Indira Gandhi declared emergency in India.
Yeah.
During that time,
There
like,
was
everything was
excessive
censored.
censorship.
Everything was in the entire media.
So 2 years only that one.
2 years.
Ah,
But like,
75 to 77.
during this time, I think she had like all of her political opponents like imprisoned or taken away,
Yeah.
and the media was censored, so nobody could know about it. That's it. So
Yes.
she declared an emergency for no reason.
I still don't know what was the reason for the
It was-
emergency.
the reason was so she could eliminate her political opponents. So there's no public.
See, there are so many such news coming out.
There must be some.
Actually,
There's no
there
public
were
reason.
no.
She
There
wanted
was
to
a
eliminate
problem that
Some terrorists and some.
terrorists know that war with Pakistan
Yeah.
and war with Bangladesh. Actually,
East Pakistan.
so East Pakistan was there. So if there is an external threat, government can declare. But
Basically,
some other ways she used it for
Her own
the,
advantage.
that is her own
Malicious.
advantage. That is what.
She stayed in power longer due to the emergency. She would have been, put off of her post of the prime minister much earlier if she hadn't declared emergency. She was a very weak leader.
She was not a weak leader.
She was not a very well planned leader according to all of the things she has done.
No. When
She
you
only worked for her benefit, not the nation's benefit.
no. If she did not do all these things, then this green revolution, that white revolution, this all in the agricultural production, industrial production, these all things will not come up. Under her, this thing only, these all developments have taken place. She was not a weak ruler, and she, because of her courageous act only, that this one East Pakistan was made into Bangladesh. Otherwise, Pakistan daily would have entered into India and troubled India. She was such a strong lady. No, I don't agree with your this thing.
I just don't find her leadership to be very practical. Like the plans that she made, her implementation.
See, no,
Personal opinion.
when you read only one side of the things, you will feel that that is correct. When you see all the sides, whatever.
There may be good things that she has done.
Yes.
Like, great things, but
See, you may not agree with that. She was the first woman prime minister in the world.
in the world,
So
in the
first,
world, there was some. It was the
no. Afterwards, only Margaret Thatcher in
Yeah,
England. No, she was. She became the Prime Minister very young age. Then only Vena Surkutta and many 2, 3 were
I
there.
mean, she was the third prime minister.
India.
Yeah, she was the
India,
third prime minister of India.
that one, first
Nehru, Lal Bahadur
Bahadur
Shastri, and then Indira.
longest term served. See, that time she did so many things. And that story, nationalization of that banks, nationalization of all this, very good works. But there were some
Drawbacks of her.
drawbacks also because a male dominated society cannot accept a
Woman.
female in power. So in her ministry, no other woman was allowed.
Ma'am,
So she was like a man only.
it wasn't exactly that she herself was a bad girl or anything, but historically the Congress party has done many malicious things in order to be more powerful.
No.
Yes.
None.
Congress is just.
For example, the Congress party forged the death of Subhash Chandra Bose when they were trying
That's a
to come into
conspiracy.
power.
Please don't this thing. You go through that YouTube some channels and
No,
listen properly. Congress party did not do anything. Even there was
These are just conspiracies that people bring up. It's not.
no, nothing like that.
I'm not just
They
saying.
want
I'm not
to
just saying this
And
after.
had some daughter.
I'm not saying this after
See,
just some brief.
Now
reason.
when this party came to power, what they told that Congress party amassed so much money, all this black money will be brought back. Any single rupee is brought back?
From like which one?
BJP told. Any single?
No.
And 15 lakh in each one's account will come. Now we are become bankrupt only.
Yeah.
The policies, no, see, you don't the same see on the one side of the thing. I have
There are
seen
flaws in every political vein of
everything is
everyone.
there. So the failure started when that government, that is when many parties joined together and forming the government. In that failure started. अभी हम सब अलग पार्टी का है, मैं तो रूल कर रहे हैं, तो आप सब मेरे को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, ओके? सो आपको मैंने पावर नहीं दिया, आपका पार्टी का एक लीडर को पावर नहीं दिया, तो आप सपोर्ट विड्रॉ करेगा, तो आपको प्लेस करने के लिए कुछ भी कर देता है. That was the failure. यूपीए गवर्नमेंट का दोनों स्टेज में ये सपोर्ट की वजह से वो लोग अपना हिसाब से बहुत सारे कर दिया. It was not that party. You have to understand is if I want to please you, what you are asking I have to give because I have to continue in power.
Yeah, I want to stay in the ring that I'm in.
That is what happened. Now, see, I have gone through, I have seen, I have studied all these things. I am not happy with the way the things are going. I am unhappy with all those things because I am experiencing. When the gas cylinder was 450, this party only started objection, and now the gas cylinder is 1,000 rupee. Nobody could open the mouth.
We just see the good parts of every ruling party when we really support them.
So there are good things, there are bad things. So that is why blindly we cannot follow. And those who are experiencing the effects of that. So being a Christian, we are facing so many problems. If they are trying to remove that word secularism from the constitution and not allowing the Christians and other people to live in the country,
That's
telling
just
that
extremely problematic.
that type of things, no. It was not like that. We were happily living.
Yeah.
We are not living in a strange country. It's my birthplace, no?
Yeah.
So if I am not getting my due right, so how much sad I will become?
Yeah.
That is what many people are unhappy with that. That is, there are some limited good things. So many bad things.
They are obsessively, the current ruling party is trying to obsessively promote their particular ideology onto like everyone, and that has led to people my age having extremist mindsets. Like people that I know in my class, they have such extreme mindsets towards a particular religion or towards supporting a particular group of people. And it just becomes, like unfathomable how people this young have this mindset.
That is many people like criticize few groups also, like minorities.
Yeah,
That is what is the reality. See, when you are coming and beating with the sticks on us, we are not a person to react to that. So, but when publicly we are put as a person, branded as that you are outsiders. This is what happening. That is why I told you. When you are experiencing the things, only you can get the correct. Okay, I don't know. It is all recorded.
no, it's fine. Nobody seems to like stream.
Some classes.
Is someone seeing?
No.
Zero viewership.
But some classes, some places, no. So much this thing. One day it is 7, 8, then get from where who was saying, I was wondering. Okay, next day, which lesson you are telling?
Civics.
Which lesson?
We didn't even
Can I
start.
get consolidation now?
No.
We did not start civics.
Oh, then I have to take that. Bring that one.